All right, this video is going to be mainly for myself, but if the YouTube algorithm picks it up, that's great. This is going to be how to set up a modded / vanilla Zomboid server hosted off of your own computer that you can play with your friends on. So the first thing is port forwarding. You have to have your ports open for your friends to join. I have the IPv4 address and then these ports. This is the main port. And then these are apparently the ports that your friends can use to join. TCP plus UDP. If you don't know your IP, go to your Windows, type in CMD, hit enter, and you type in IP config, and then just hit enter, and then that will be all your IP stuff, and you're going to see an IPv4 there, and the IPv4 is what you use to put in here. Now, if you're in a special scenario like I am, where you're hosting your laptop, or you're hosting the server off of your laptop, and then you're playing off your desktop, or just any other PC that's not the one you're playing on, you want to use the IPv4 address of that computer. So in this video, I'm going to be showing my laptop screen because that's where all my files are at. This right now is on my desktop. So this IP address is not my current IP address. You want to use whatever IP address the hosting machine is using. I don't know how to set up IP port forwarding for all your different routers. I'm sure you can find a video on YouTube on how to do that. Just know these are the numbers and to use your IPv4 address that you find in your CMD. Okay, and that's just for opening the port on your end. And then for having your friends join, you are going to want to type into Google, what's my IP? And then the public, or yeah, what's my public IP? And then the IPv4 address that comes up is what you would give them. That is port forwarding. Now I'm going to pull up this. I'm going to put my mouse into my laptop real quick. This is going to be a longer video, not structured at all. Again, just mainly for myself. All right. Put my laptop up here. Okay, so watching me full screen this. Okay, there is two ways that I found to host the server. The first one that ended up not working for some reason was downloading this from Steam. And essentially, the way that I do it now works the same way. You just get it differently. So this way didn't work for me because when I used it and tried to download all the mods to the server, it would just get stuck on downloading and it wouldn't download the mods to the server. So to get around that, I just ended up copying all the mods from my personal mod list and then pasting it into the server mod list. But that did not work either. So because of that, couldn't use this. So I had to uninstall this. I had to go online and download Steam CMD. This, and I hit Windows, and then I downloaded this right here. And essentially, once you downloaded that, I put it into my C drive and just put it right here. To log in, or like I actually download it, it lasts for a login. I think it's like login anonymous. Or login, yeah, I think just login anonymous. You hit enter. And after you hit enter, you need to type in, I have to look it up here. Yeah, this is for myself, so this is not going to be structured. Do apologize for that, for anyone who actually is trying to get this. Wasn't that. Sorry for my history. A little bit of asthma gold here. Yeah, this right here. This video. So there is definitely some good things in this video. There's a lot of things that he doesn't tell you. One of them that he did tell you was the CMD thing. Right here, install Steam CMD. Okay, so it loads in. Right here, you type in login anonymous. Okay. After that, you type in this right here, app_update 380870 validate. Okay, gonna do that. And after that, it is essentially, go back to the other PC now. It is essentially just gonna make that dedicated server thing in a different place. So right here, Steam Apps, Common, Project Zomboid dedicated server. Now you're gonna want to like pin this or save this. I have it pinned right here, so it's easy to access. And then here's where you do all your, or not all, but a lot of your server stuff. This is the start server right here. So anytime you want to start a server, you're gonna click Start Server 64. You can edit it in Notepad. Right here is where you change your RAM. This is, I'm using, I don't know how much you really need. I just have 16 gigs on this laptop, and I heard you don't need much for Zomboid, so I'm just using 10. And then the other thing you change in here is which set of settings this is using. So I added in this right here, because this is the server name of the settings right here. And this, those are B41 model server, is not there. That's my world file. Wait. Where in the fuck? Where is the other Zomboid? Dedicated server. This Zomboid. I'm missing one. I didn't. I just recently did this. This is all fresh. I just did all this today. So it's all fresh in my mind. Users. Day. Zomboid. Pin. Pin to quick access. Right here. Okay, I was missing one. Yep. So, what was I even just talking about? Server. Right here. Okay. So in your C drive, users, your PC name, Zomboid, server, this is where your server settings are going to be. Okay. So right now, if you haven't done this yet, you're just going to see, actually the first thing you need to do is probably launch that server. So go to the dedicated server. And in this, don't do this part yet. Just leave that blank. You can change your RAM right now if you want. You can change it later. It doesn't matter. Just launch the server once. It's going to ask for an admin password. Type in any password you want. It's going to ask for it twice. You hit enter both times. And then technically the server will be up and running as a vanilla server right at that point. And you can actually you can get on that and play, right? So you want to do that to get all the files created. So once you launch the server, all the files will create. And you go back to here, your users, Zomboid server, and these four will be here. And to get your you can edit these and just have it be server test, or you can make your own. Now how did I make my own? Go to here, go to Project Zomboid, click play. And essentially, it's just like a fancy like UI where you can edit all of your settings, and it's quite nice. Okay, so essentially to edit that stuff I was just talking about, right? In your game, you can click host, and then yours will look like this. It'll say server test. And you can change your settings there and use this. That's just fine. For me, I just like to separate it. I don't really know why I did that, but I did. So do server name at, and you can hit manage settings. And you can honestly do everything through here. I ended up not. So yeah, you can go here, and I think you can create new settings, and you can name whatever you want. And then edit those settings in here. So all of your like server settings you want to edit, you can edit in here. Another important ones are zombie lore, zombie options, all that stuff. You can edit all that stuff here. Now, if you just want the simple mods, just want to add like a few mods, you can literally just go to just sub to them on your Steam Workshop. And after you subscribe to them on your Steam Workshop, they're not just going to pop in this box. you have to click on this list and then add them to here. And then once they're in this box, that means they're on the server. And somehow both these need to be like all of the mods need to be in both these folders. Don't know how, don't know why. And then maps, if you add any modded maps, they have to be in here as well. But I don't really use as much because it's just confusing and annoying, and I wanted to add an entire mod pack, so it would have taken me forever just to click all of them individually, so I didn't end up using it much. So that's that. But yeah, this. So editing these settings will, in turn, actually just edit these files. So now that you've made that, right? Let's say you didn't change any settings, you can just click on these, double click it, and then here is your INI file where you change all your server settings. You can go through this and change all the stuff you want. Right here is the mod IDs. Right here is the map folder names that you need for it to actually load it on your map. And then the last important space is right here, workshop items. Really quickly, the order on this, the workshop items, does not matter. As long as they're in there, it will work. The order up here, though, matters. So everything up here will load in order, and it matters. So I haven't really tested this yet. I'm just doing this today because it's fresh in my mind. But on this mod pack that I'm using, I need these to load first. So I had those load first, and then I had everything else load in for the regular mods. And then this is the map loading in as well. This, I didn't change the order if I just threw them all in there. Apparently, ChatGPT or Grok said the Moldron needs to be the last one. Don't know why, just did it. Everything's worked fine so far. Everything in here needs to be accurate. You need to have a semicolon in between everything. No spaces. You cannot misspell anything. Okay? If you have a mod pack, like I did, my friend had made a mod pack right here. I'm going to make my own, and I'm going to put it in the description once I'm done with this video of the one I use, and it's pretty much this with just added stuff on here. And you can hit subscribe to all, unsubscribe, save to collection, whatever. But anyways, this is what is important. So once you get that, or any mod pack you want, up here you can see the ID of the collection. You're going to want to copy that ID. You're going to want to go to get collection IDs.moonguide.me. You're going to want to put that number in there, do the CAPTCHA, you're a human, and then it'll output this big box right here, or it'll be a small box, and under it, it'll say get mod IDs. Click get mod IDs, and it'll give you all of the things you need to paste into those spots on the INI file that I was just showing you right here, INI file. So for the mods equals, you want the mod IDs, right? Then under that, for the map equals, right here, you need the map folders, right? And then for the numbers, just scroll down, and it'll be the workshop items equals. You paste all those in there. And this worked for me. There's a different site that does the same thing, but it doesn't have the map folders, and it didn't fucking work. So this is the only one that I found that worked for me. This is gonna save you an immense amount of time, and nobody in any of like the 20 videos that I watched showed this at all. Don't know how that's possible. Okay, so yes, any mod list you can do. I think I'll also paste these numbers or all this stuff in there in the description. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Okay, so that's how you put all your mods in there. And essentially, when you put them in here, right, when you put all these in here and all these names and all this stuff in here, I'll just launch this again. I shouldn't have even closed it. In that, when you edit the server file thing in Zomboid, it'll all pop up in there now. So before, that box would have been empty, and now if you paste that and you save it, obviously you got to save, and you go back into this, into Zomboid, it will actually read it, and it will say, and all your mods will be in there. Which is what you want, of course. Now, I guess while it's loading, if I can show you where stuff is. So again, the main thing you're going to need is the Zomboid dedicated server. That is going to be wherever you put your Steam CMD into. So like whatever drive. So I put my Steam CMD folder on my C drive. Wherever your Steam CMD folder, that's where it is. You're gonna want to Steam apps, common, dedicated server. Okay, very easy. People also recommend to unsubscribe from everything and then resubscribe to only the mod pack you're using for simplicity's sake and for whatever. I did that and it worked for me. Okay, so this is your Project Zomboid dedicated server. This is probably the most important file. Yeah, okay. Now, if you want to get to the mods in the server, you want to manually access where the mods are going. You click on Steam Maps, Workshop, Content, 108600, right here. This is where all of your mods are going to be that you use, if you need to know that for any reason. Okay, and then for your personal one, it's going to be in your program files 86, Steam Apps, Workshop, Content, 108600, and this is your personal, what you have on your account, or on like your personal Zomboid, not the server. So you're going to want to download, or not going to download, but whenever you subscribe to something, it's going to show up here. So like when you subscribe to a whole mod pack, it'll all show up here. And if there is some reason where you need to copy all these and put them in your server one, you can do that. Yeah, I did that for me before on the non-Steam CMD version, and it didn't work. I was having a bunch of issues. The Steam CMD thing is the only way I got it to work. Okay, so that's where all your mods are. This Project Zomboid folder. Oh yeah, that's the normal. Where's the? Oh yeah, the last one. Okay, this one right here is where your server shit is. So you're gonna want to go to your C drive, your name, or user Steam drive, or your C drive, users, your PC name, and then Zomboid. And this is where your world file is going to be. So right here, you want to go to save, so your world file, multiplayer. This is your world file. So if you just want to reset the world after you're testing shit, you can just delete this folder, or you can go in game, in here, and just hit delete world. It does the same thing. So hitting this will literally just delete this folder. So you can do it manually without having to launch the game. Okay, that's where the world file is. And here's where your server settings are. If you click server, I made this backup folder, and because I was doing stuff. So in here is just another copy of an older version of this. If you want to change modded settings, the second one right here, the Lua file, you can change a bunch of other settings. So there's also, like, for example, we use the notebook mod. So skill recovery right here. You can change how much percentage experience it gives you back, right? So that's where you change your mod settings. You can also do that in game, which I will also show you, and it's more user friendly. You can add spawn points, spawn regions. I haven't messed with this at all. I've actually never even opened this before. Okay, yeah, spawn regions. I didn't mess with all that. I kind of just like, I'm just gonna spawn the default spawn points, and then I'm gonna go find all the modded maps I found. And this is where you edit all that. Okay. Yeah, back to here. I just want to show you now that after you put all those numbers in and hit save, they should all show up now in here. Before you did that, they wouldn't have been here, but after you found your mod pack, got all those names, they should be in here now. Okay. That was that. If you're trying to join your own world on your own PC, you just want to put localhost here and localhost here. Leave the port as it is. If you have a password, put the password in. If you don't have to put anything. You always want to put your name, your character username, and any password on whatever one. I'm sure you guys know how to do this actually. Whatever, I'm not even tell you that. Oh, I guess I should say. And then you're gonna put localhost if it's on your own same PC. You have to put localhost. But for me, like I said, in my case, it's a special case where I'm hosting the server off a different computer. I put my laptop's IPv4 address in here. The one that I said when you hit CMD do IP config, the IPv4 address, that's what you put in here for you to join. For any friends you want to join, you still have to give them the public IPv4, or IP4, whatever it's called. That's all they need to join. And then they use the same port, 162.6.1, I think. Okay. And then when they join, or when they click it, they should be prompted to just download all of the mods that are already in that server. They'll be prompted to, and they'll download it, and that'll be pretty much that. Man, I think that was it. I try Grok for some reason is better at Zomboid stuff than ChatGPT is. I don't know if that helps you at all. Oh yes, if you ever do need to do any things manually, like that, like let's just say this for some reason doesn't work, or you just want to add mods after. It's like let's say you did this, okay, I want to add more mods. Those numbers you need are going to be on the workshop page. Let's say right here, it's 90s BMW 3 Series. Let's say you want to add this. Add this, and scroll down, and right here, it's these two numbers. A workshop ID, that's the number one I was talking about. You would just copy this, go down here, add a semicolon first, then paste. Okay, then you also need this, the mod ID. Copy that, and then you would go here, semicolon first, paste that. Okay, and then for a map one, if this was a map mod, there would be a third line here that would say folder, something like that. Oh, actually, I have one right here. Yeah, and sometimes they'll have multiple right here. So here's the mall. You would also just, here's the workshop ID, mod ID, right, that you just did. You would also need to do this, the map folder. So you need to copy all of these individually, and do the semicolons. So you'll see I did that right here. Mega Mall exterior, Mega Mall interior, Mega Mall roof. Okay. Wait, did I actually mess that up? Yeah, I didn't put Zonix in front of it. I don't even know if that loaded in right, because that's when I added in after. I guess we'll go check it out right now, actually. But anyways, that's what you would do. Okay. I think, yeah, just looking at random stuff. If you want to make yourself admin, you do set ACCESS level, and then you would do your name. My name is Dozer. Then space, then add min. Okay. That's how you make yourself admin. And then if you want to unadmin yourself, I think it's set access level, your name, and then user, I think. So you can obviously look that up. I'm sure I'm missing something. This is the INI folder. This is the bat. Change your RAM. Oh yeah. So again, if you did change the do settings, you had to put dash server name and the settings in here, and then hit save. And then again, every time you want to start the server up, you would just hit dedicated server right here and launch it. Mine's still launched from earlier. If you want to save the server, hit save. Boom. I guess real quick, I'm gonna go on my main PC again. Launch Zomboid. And then show you some things in game that I learned. If maps mess up, load order is very important. Okay, you load in. Here are some things to help you in game. First of all, your left side, circle admin right here. Just testing shit. Make sure you have all these things on. Fast move and no clip. Very nice. You can use your arrow keys and zoom around the map. Okay. You change those options I was talking about earlier in the server files. I said there's a way to do it in game that's easier. And then earlier I showed the Skill recovery journal. There's also a UI for in-game. So here is your more user-friendly UI if you get in-game. Probably recommended to change things here. And for all your other mods, you change settings as well in here. In sandbox options, okay? You also change server options here. I never have, I did it in the other thing. Yeah, so that was a big one. Change your mod settings in there, do it in game. Have to make yourself admin. Next, if you want to check if your map is loaded in, press M. And you're gonna go right click on your thing, hit hide, uncheck hide on visited areas, and you'll see what your mods loaded in. So Raven Creek, I don't even know what any of the Erie something, and you might see stuff like this. This map, apparently the devs haven't finished it, so there might be stuff like this, and it might not be anything that wrong that you've done. So just FYI, my friend added the airport. Again, he's the one who made the majority of this mod list over the river. Some like Navy ship. Sick. Yeah, I wanted to see if the mall worked. The mall. That's what I added recently. Just added the mall. Let's see if it worked. Wow. It looks like it did work. So I don't know how this worked. But yeah, just make sure you type your stuff in right. Apparently I typed it in wrong and it still works, so maybe there's some leniency. I wouldn't count on it. In a million years I wouldn't count on it. That's very good. We will start in Riverside. That's starting point. IMO. Back to where I was. Client, make a faction, see your friends. If you want to see your friends and do anything with them, you can hit escape players. Then you can make them invisible, God mode, teleport. You teleport to them teleport to you. You mute kick. Or you can do it an admin mini scoreboard, then their names will show up here and you can do the same thing. If you want to test if any vehicles have spawned in that you got in your mod list, you just stand on here, right click, tools, spawn vehicle. So what's this? I gotta mess with a lot of stuff. I'm new to hosting as well. I played Zomboid before, but I'm new to hosting. Anyways, yeah, spawn vehicle, and then you want to check real names, and you can type in the names. So, for example, I know I added that. I mentioned that the BMW mod earlier. Here's the BMW. Spawn. Boom, very nice. Now, let's say you want to get rid of it. Right click. Remove item tool. Move? Oh shit, I fucked this up. I don't know how I did this. Right click. Vehicle, remove. Okay. That's how you test if your vehicles are in. I told you how to test if your map is in. Yeah, always just zooming out and right clicking. And you can teleport obviously with the right click menu. Yeah, that's it. You want your maps to load in. And if your maps don't load in or have issues or errors, change your map load order. Apparently it's a lot of trial and error. But again, I said my friend already did this on a single player world. So that's another thing you could do is if you have a big mod pack and it's custom or something's not working, test all this in single player first, and then make it a server, which is I guess technically what this is. My friend made his mod pack in single player world and just ported it into multiplayer. Wouldn't port it, but his Steam Workshop. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's it there. Okay. I'm trying to think anything else. Oh yeah, if you do want to test in single player, you can hit mods right here, and then you might not your thing is not gonna look like this at first. There is a mod called Mod Manager, one for server and for single player. You're gonna want to get that. So that Mod Manager right here. Okay, so if you go to this menu, and it's gonna have if you want to enable them all, you have to do it individually. So instead, you can get the mod manager, enable the mod manager first, right? Enable it first, then hit back. and go back into mods, and it should look like this now, what you're seeing now. I haven't messed with presets at all or any of that, because I literally just went here and enabled this, and then I kind of left it. Oh, yeah, and here's the mod load order right here. Mod load order. So here's where I said like these maps need to be loaded first in this order. For some reason, again, don't know why. Did that. I went down, found them, I clicked move to top. But that's for you personally. If you want to do that for the server, you have to go back in the ini file, and the name has to be first. Okay. I think that is the extent of my knowledge currently that got this working. I mean, my friends all played today. There was no errors. Everything was smooth. But it was only like an hour session, and it was literally just us trying to get to each other. I think that's it. Yeah, I'm gonna end with that. Who knows? My post this might not. And if it helped you, well then, that's good. Hopefully it saved you a lot of time. It took me a lot of time to figure this out. So.